Hello everyone. Welcome to this live stream. We're going to be drawing a portrait of Shaun Tan, who is an incredible artist and has made so many books. Here is a fairly recent photo I found of Shaun. Shaun has so many good books. Hello Corinna, hello Rachel, hello the Saras, hello Ike, hello Oliver. It's so good to have you here. I have turned the page to my ink spread and I am looking forward to getting back to my parallel pen. Who knows Shaun Tan? Because if you don't, you're about to know, because Shaun Tan's work is so amazing. The Arrival, The Red Tree, The Rabbits, is that what it's called? The Lost Thing, Tales from Outer Suburbia, Tales from the Inner City. There are so many amazing books that Shaun has made, and yeah, they're just super inspiring. Such a wonderful, expressive artist and storyteller. So I just thought it would be wonderful to draw Shaun today. Hello, Tommy, Kiki, and Lewis. Here's the book that we have, looking very dark right here, but it's called The Rules of Summer. And just have a bit of a look. It's so nice. We've got lots of his books, and they're just wonderful. His painting is amazing, and so much of it is so good. And if you don't already know his work, then I suggest you find out. What you're seeing on the screen looks nowhere near as cool as the book does. It's quite a large format book, and here's a real story about friendship, and it's beautiful and so good. So let's draw Shaun. Claire, the Saras, has seen his books at our house. Yes, you have, definitely. They're so good. All right, let's draw. So I have one of my dear children who I've read many times, many books to. I have a date after this live stream to read some more to him. We're going to read The Golden Compass. We just started it by Philip Pullman, and we're going to keep reading it. And he's been waiting for everyone else to go to sleep, and now he's got time just with me after this. So let's draw Shaun, and then I'm going to go do some reading. And you can all tell me what you're reading at the moment. Hello, Ashley. On this bright sunny day, it's a dark, moony night here. Right, let's draw. Where are we? Here. Parallel pen. I love this pen. There is The Arrival is an incredible book. It's, I don't know, maybe so many of his books I've found so moving. They're just so beautiful. And The Arrival, perhaps, it was at the time that I saw it, I was so inspired by it. And it has, I found later a really cool like companion book, which is kind of the behind the scenes, the making of The Arrival. And what's it? I think it might be called Tales from Another Land. And The Arrival is so cool. It's just all graphite illustration, no text. The text that there is in a made up language. And if you don't know it, you should know it, because it's, when I think of like the moving, amazing, powerful, beautifully drawn books that I have, it ranks really high amongst them. So many of his books are just, they're incredibly beautiful, and the stories as well as the images are so good. How is everyone today? And does anyone know, apart from Claire? Tommy read some of his books. Claire's reading Dr. Michael Mosley's book 4 Weeks to Better Sleep. Not as moving, but very interesting. The Arrival. No, not with Amy Adams, not with anyone else. It's completely illustrated. It's a book. It's not a film. There is an animation version of The Lost Thing, which is one of his picture books, and there's this like beautiful computer animation. Oh, it's good to talk about this. I'll watch it again soon with my kids because it's been years since we've seen it, and it's so nice. If you watch or read any of his work, get in touch with me, and we can just talk about how nice it is. It's I'm so glad that his work exists. He's from Perth. I just read a little bit of, I think, Wikipedia or something, and it said about his work being described as like the Australian vernacular, and there is definitely something about like the dry grass and the suburban homes, and the so many things that I really feel resonate, just in the imagery, and it's so great. And no matter where you're from, particularly The Arrival is about this shared experience of leaving a place for a new place, and the way without language that the stories are shared is really, it's quite amazing. Ashley may have found the link for Shaun Tan. Yeah, on Instagram, Shaun CY Tan. Yeah, all the pictures up behind him in this photo are really cool as well. I'll show you some more of them in a moment because there's more. Oh yeah, and that's what I was going to say. The companion book to The Arrival, Tales from a Strange Land. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But it shows like all of the visual and note-taking thought process that went into the creation of this incredible, moving story. And I used to really, there was a time when I had time for such things. Oh, I didn't put my timer on. That's okay. Where I used to like behind the scenes stuff of films that I really loved. And it's incredible to find a book which is an art book, which is behind the scenes of an art book. and I really loved seeing Shaun's like creative process into thinking everything out before actually making this incredible project. And just looking at it, like, yeah, it's so interesting just to think about it and talk about it now, because it reminds me of when I studied architecture and the way we would like plan out and think things out before commencing a project and making a thing, and the whole, like, all the supporting work that goes into making something great. Because The Arrival, it's so great. It's really interesting to see. And also I remember when I looked at it, I was like, wow, I feel like having gone through some design studies with architecture, I feel like the process that's gone into the making of this book, which I love so much, and I think many people do, is really like ambitious, and that has a great scope, and you just see the passion and love that's gone into it. It's really an amazing piece of work. We're still focused on shadow shapes in these live stream drawings. Guten Abend, Maria. So I'm the shadow shapes aren't super strong. There are some which are really strong, but as I'm thinking about the skin tone values and stuff, they're pretty subtle. And you can see in the forehead, there's like light coming from 3 directions, it seems. Like there's one light here, and then another light here. So this is well lit. So this would be a great one for, there are shadow shapes, but if we were thinking about value shapes, like the more subtle tonal variations throughout the face would give us lots of cues and information as to where to put things. Yeah. Maria, you wrote to me and you said you'd love to do my workshop, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be on the 23rd. So I'm going to be doing a Zoom workshop on the 23rd, focused on shadow shapes. We'll be talking about value shapes, all of the stuff that is going on this month in my live streams. And I'm also going to be filming a shadow shape / value shape tutorial for my Patreon this month. And so it's already next weekend, Sunday evening, about the time that this live stream would usually be. So maybe just after the live stream. There'll be details going out soon. If you haven't already, please join my mailing list, which the link, I'm pretty sure there are various links in my description below, the text below this video, including my mailing list link. And I'll be writing to everyone soon, start of the week. I'll have it set and I'll let you know. There'll be a replay available for anyone who's not able to be there live, but the live experience, hanging out together in Zoom, is really special and a lovely way to work together and to teach and to learn. So whoever can be there, whoever wants to be there, make sure you're on my mailing list and I'll let you know. It's going to be cool. Tommy feels like exercising shadow shapes in its cleanest way demands so much from the reference. Interesting. So there are references, which is like Mandado Rosso, when we're doing pure line, it was like that was a shadow shape reference. Maybe it'd be interesting to work from that one again, because it was so strong, even in the line version, but the shadow shapes were so strong. And it was like, and also the one we had of Almond Ice Sky recently, it had such strong shadow shapes. Like you could squint and you just see so clearly the value structures, and that was really cool. So that was like that was kind of the beginner level shadow shapes, where it's like totally clear, like black and white almost, maybe 3 values. There was like this nice gray in between. But yeah, then we get these references where there are more subtle shapes, and this head is like way too high, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring it down a bit. I'll have to darken the upper space to make it look a bit smaller. Being too big and bringing it in is always like possible. If you've made it too tight and want to go back out, that's tricky. So I think, yeah, there are really clear dark shapes in here, but thinking about everything that's going in the middle, maybe this would be interesting just with water to touch upon it and see what we can pull out, just borrowing from the existing ink, because I can see so much mid-tone stuff and so many kind of clear shapes within the darker shapes, and some of it is pretty dark, so I'll just start with like the darker shadow shapes, which once I I think actually I spoke recently. I don't know, it may not have been in the stream, but in the after party with Andrew Kadima, I mentioned the illustration masterclass, which I was fortunate enough to attend twice many years ago. And I think it was there maybe that I first was told about The Lost Thing, which is the first piece of Shaun's that I saw and read and loved, and then it just cascaded onto everything else Shaun's made since then. It's really it's cool to be doing this little portrait and just thinking about how much I've loved Shaun's work over the years. And I'm seeing things here which are not totally as I see them on the reference, but it's all right. I feel like it's a good drawing, even though it's what do you know? I guess I'm talking about reference, like about likeness, but likeness is not the main thing. Talking to Andrew Kadima on Thursday, I was listening to talk that we had with him. I think I was listening to something else as well, and he was saying about how when you're looking at the reference and looking at your piece, looking at the reference, looking at the piece, how it's so easy to be like spotting all the things that are inconsistent with the reference, but how the image, it has its own life once you step away from it, and the way people look at it when they're not looking at the reference at the same time, they don't have that context of like the source material, and so it really it has its own life beyond that. But I like it. I feel like this has been this year this pen combined with the brush pen has been a medium which I have really enjoyed a lot. And here I'm going to put some of the 10 minutes just ended from whenever I put the timer on. I'm going to put some of the surrounding images on, kind of to make up for that too high hairline. I feel like my chair has gotten incredibly creaky recently. Is there something I can do to remedy that creakiness? Oil or something? Put some ink into it. So there's something of the quality of this behind the scenes kind of stuff, all these little images in the background. And maybe just so you can see, I'll change the image a bit here, because there's just so many cool things surrounding him on the wall. Like that feeling of all these extra images. There's something... there's often, in a lot of his work, there'll be these additional sketches everywhere, and or paintings that are done on pages of old books, and all this kind of... There's a wonderful kind of texture and busyness to a lot of his work. So this seems fitting to put some texture and busyness surrounding his portrait. So going into overtime beyond the almost 10 minutes that this was. Ashley has said, if you listen to the Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Vorlieben. I've listened to that. Tommy had this epiphany when watching a Patreon tutorial that has to do with the degree of emphasis on the technique to make the drawing fit the reference. Yeah, that's good. Because there are different ways to work with this technique, the shadow shape technique, and the way that the shadow is then applied. That's really good. Thank you for that, Tommy. I'll just take a screenshot of your comment so I can mull on that a bit. Yeah, Claire, that thing of trees communicating underground is really, really cool. I want to grease the chair. Just dip the whole chair in grease. That'll do it. I didn't notice the squeakiness of my chair until I started recording stuff for my videos, and then in listening to the recording, I was hearing this crack. It's like, whoa. Quiet down, please, chair. How's everyone doing? Just love all this stuff. If you want the full reference of this, thank you to whoever took this. And I didn't get in touch with Shaun first. Shaun is one of those. I have written to Shaun in the past. I'd love him to come on the Drawn Together show. I sent him a message and got no answer, and that's okay. So I don't have Shaun's express permission to be drawing him, but this is like fan art, and I think it's okay. I hope so. But yeah, thank you to whoever took this photo. Thank you to Shaun for everything you've ever made, all the inspiration and all the great work. Feel free to tag Shaun on Instagram. Maybe he'll see it. Who knows? Maybe he won't. Tag me. I'll see it. And I'll love it. And I'll reshare it to my stories. And yeah, if you want the reference and if you want to share it with a more cozy, intimate sketching community, my Discord server is the place. The Drawing with Dylan Discord server is where I share the daily references, and a lot of people sharing their work there, which I love seeing. It's really nice. It's cozy. It's high resolution. It's a good place to be sharing your work, and it's independent of all the other questionable social media platforms which we inhabit. Kat, do you draw with water-soluble ink? I sure do, Kat. I sure do. Look at this. I'll show you. Hello, welcome. As my final trick for today's live stream. So this is water-soluble ink, and I used it in this parallel pen, 3.8 millimeter. I should have an Amazon affiliate links where you can buy all of the stuff I use, because I tell you a lot, and a lot of people have been buying it. So now what I do is I get some of that ink. I just use this water brush where I've done some drawing, and I can just like, ooh, look at that. I can just add value so quickly with the water brush. I love it. It's so cool. You can just, here, for example, I can borrow ink from where there's more ink, and I can just put things in here. I've gone pretty easy on the heavy dark ink this time, but yeah, you can just borrow stuff from where you've put a lot of ink, and it's a really, I feel like a effective, efficient, and expressive way to add some value variation to the drawing. Yep, water-soluble ink and water. Do I ever use a Fude fountain pen? I have never. But many people have asked. So that I've been thinking, should I use a Fude pen? Is that a thing I should do? Why do you ask, Adam? There have been a couple of tools that I've found that I've pretty much just been like locked in on and use them a lot. And yeah, people have asked about those pens, but I have not as yet used them. Though they must be good because people keep talking about them. Oh look, I think this is good. I had this line up here and I was like, whoa, the head's too long. It's still, the likeness is a bit off, but I like the drawing. But by putting this stuff all over the place, I was definitely able to kind of almost lose that. Or I could do this like as if it's intentional, like on the little picture behind his head. I can just put a bunch of stuff in here and it will just look like, yeah, look at that. It's almost as if it's supposed to be like that. And now, since there's so much busyness in the background, I'm kind of like, oh, it would be perhaps if I give some more definition to the extremities of the portrait, that will bring him back into focus. Even though there's not really like strong contours around the portrait. It'll just kind of make him easier to see amongst the busyness of the background. Okay, that might be it. Might be it for today. You should draw pictures in his pictures on the wall. I know. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this, you may not have been here, I have a date to read with my 11-year-old. I'm tempted to draw pictures in the pictures, but I'm gonna leave it at this pretty much. The eye could be a bit darker for sure. So there's this interesting kind of end phase where it's like, is there anything I could do which would be kind of minimal but would really be worth changing, adding? And I just noticed the top eyelash is not as dark as it could be. I should have a week with camouflaging, like putting the portrait in a busy background. Is that what you mean by camouflaging, Tommy? Cat draws portraits too. Wait a minute, what have I missed? Hey, good night from Russia. Hello, Cat. So cool that you're joining from Russia. First time here. Amazing. Welcome. We do this every day. So good to have you here. Okay, Ashley is also putting in a positive review for the Fude fountain pen, a favorite. Is there a particular brand? Is Fude a brand? Or what? I'm not sure. What are people talking about? Cat, mostly with colored pencils and watercolor. Cool. Adam says, I should get a Fude pen. Tell me which one to get. Cheryl says, the parallel pen is similar drawing experience to the Fude fountain pen. Interesting. Likeness is in the eye of the beholder. You can get a variety of lines with one pen. It's a joy to view the decision making. Thank you. I'm what a blessing to be able to share joy. I'm glad you enjoy it. Karina has put drawing hands in here, and Lewis and Cheryl, because you know it's the end. And if you've made it to the end of this video, whether you're in the live chat or watching the replay, please put an emoji of a drawing hand in the comments. So awesome to watch me. So awesome to have you here, the Saras. I love you. Tell more about myself. I am a full-time parent and artist, Kat. But if you keep coming back here, you'll learn a lot about me in these daily live streams. I've told many stories, and there'll be many more to come. Maybe some retelling of stories. Drew the cat, and that's the most important one. Yes, it looks a lot like a cat. Brilliant drawing. Thank you for being here. Sailor Foodie. All right, on your wish list. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for the input. Thank you for being here. Thank you for drawing together. I would love to see what you've done. Oh, I was talking about this. It might be the last mark to make, which is, and this one too, just to bring it all together with that nice heavy shadow there. Please. It should be in the description, but I'm going to put the Discord server in the live chat before you leave. If you've not yet joined us on the Discord server, please do, because it's a cool place to share and connect. And there's a lot of parallel conversations going on in addition to the daily drawing of inspiration, reference sharing, resource sharing, all sorts of cool stuff, and would love to have you over there. This as well, that would be good. There, that was a couple marks. I feel like there's some more weight to some of those lines, which feels good. And I have no idea how long I spent on this one, but I feel good about it. It feels good. And now I have some reading to do with my beloved child. Oh, this shape, a bit more ink over here. That could be nice. All right. Pretty much said goodbye and kept working. Emily did a great job of sleeping. Thank you, Emily. Oh, this is nice. Ashley says, to be able to draft, draw, and especially draw people is such a joy deep in the soul. It is, and I'm glad you feel it too. Oh, Ashley says, Amazon affiliate soon. I've actually initiated the process. I just have not, because Claire, the Saras, did it, and thought, oh, I could do that too, because I'm always talking about my supplies. So it's a link that I could add to all of the links in the description. And speaking of that, if you would like to buy me a coffee, or you would like to join my Patreon and get monthly tutorials, there's a link in the description. I will have a beautiful date night. I look forward to reading. I look forward to sleeping. And Shaun Tan. Thank you, Shaun Tan. Everyone, I'll be adding Shaun Tan books to my affiliate links. But maybe you've got some, and maybe just so get them. And if you don't want to buy stuff from Amazon, please don't. But there's so much good stuff out there, and I'm happy to be able to share some with you. I love you all very much. Sleep well, and share your favorite art supplies with me. Art book reviews, whatever you think would be great to read with my kids. I'm always really appreciative. And yeah, you could put that in the Discord server, which I said I'd give you the link. Any supplies and book recommendations, the Discord server will be a great place to put them. So, what? We're almost 290 people in the Discord server. It's been growing. And it's great to have you all be a part of it. So that link I just added to the chat is the Discord server, where you can get in and connect in another way and share things together with these wonderful people who are here. Thank you, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you around